Georgia Smith, who we haven't really heard from since Lost and Found in 2018, which was an album that I think we both really liked. We
Yeah.
were very high on and felt like this is a person with a lot of potential. So to not hear from her really in 3 years, I think she might have popped up once or twice on features.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you said 2018 debut album, rapturously received, had that in my top 10 that year. But yeah, for the most part, she has not been around too much, apart from I think "Be Honest," which was a loose single from 2 years ago featuring Burna Boy, which is a tremendous track. Other than that, she has not been around too much, which is she's only 23 now, but she was like a really fast riser. You would have thought that wouldn't have been the case, but
Mhm.
here she is finally. I've really been anticipating something from her, and it's being clearly messaged as a holdover for the second album type of EP. This is very much the leftovers sort of thing, but still happy to hear something, because again, it's been a long time.
No, I completely agree. And I think that this EP, Be Right Back, is exactly what you would expect from a holdover album, where it's like, or a holdover project, bit hit or miss for me. I think there's a couple of tracks that really stand out and sound uh, like they should be on an album, and Georgia should be promoting those heavily. And then there's a couple that I'm like, oh, well, get these out and fill up the EP and, get 25 minutes out of this thing. How did you feel about Be Right Back?
Yeah, I felt the same way, and before I realized it was clearly being referred to as a holdover, I was disappointed. I was like, kind of struggling with this a little bit. You think back to Lost and Found, you think back to even the songs of hers that predated that from a few years, like Blue Lights, which I think was the really first big track that she had out before all the Drake collabs really
Mm.
put her on the map. She has such like a vibrant voice and definitely felt like a unique presence in this really, rising popular like experimental R&B genre that we have right now. And like I think Georgia brings a lot of like soulful uh touches to her R&B as well. And to this, this she definitely sounded like older to me. Like it's clear she is like a different person now. But so I think some of those like middle tracks on the EP didn't stand out to me though. Like I like there's something about the early stuff really like popped out to me, like sonically.
Mhm.
And this stuff didn't feel nearly as special. And I was chalk that up to this being the holdover.
Did you feel like any of the tracks stood out to you? Because I definitely feel like the first like
Yeah.
three, I'd say.
So
Addicted is a hit for me.
yeah, Addicted's really good, and as well as Gone. Those both happen to be lead singles. I really like those
Mhm.
tracks. I think towards the end, Weekend's all right, but
Mhm.
I think some of the middle tracks didn't do much.
Yeah, I liked the bass groove on Burn. That really stood out to me. And of course, I think it goes without saying that Georgia sounds really good on these tracks, but I think the songs aren't as interesting in the middle. They kind of just fall flat. But something like Addicted, right? So you have this like really like whirring, sped up bass loop that is just kind of driving the song. And Georgia just singing urgently over it kind of gives this energy very actually I think opposite of what I remember from Lost and Found is like it's this more like smooth laid back vibe on Lost and Found a
Yeah,
lot. This felt a lot more urgent. So I felt like that was a real interesting track to start with and something that I'm really looking forward to. And then like Bust Down just a couple tracks later with Shabo. Not only did I think that was a good pairing, I thought they both sounded really good on the track together, but it had, a bit of like a reggae dancehallish type
yeah,
vibe to
those
it, which I
Afro beats, kind of like the
yeah,
song with Burna. Yeah,
and I thought that was decent. Like I thought it worked, and it'd be interesting to see what she does with a little bit more of that on an actual album instead of just kind of piecing these together. But yeah, with Lost and Found, you remember it being such a cohesive project, and this definitely you can tell it's just kind of like we have these tracks, let's just put them out and move on to the next thing.
right. Yeah, but like I do give her credit. She's taking her time. I mean, I wasn't totally sure if this was just conjecture or not, but I saw it saying 2022 for that sophomore album. So again, that'd be quite the wait. That's a 4 year gap. So she's definitely taking her time, and that's really cool. Someone else who's taking her time happens to her fellow uh, uh Englander of similar genre. band, LMI, same thing. Very much
Mhm.
anticipating new music from her as well. So happy to wait if it's good, obviously.
I have a feeling with especially people who have been holding over for this long, we'll be hearing from them very early next year, maybe even like late December, early January, because they want to be getting this out definitely before festival season starts. And
Right.
I think the hype for like things like Coachella, Glastonbury is going to be like otherworldly. So
Adele will
um,
eventually release another album. We know one day.
eventually, it'll be like 43 at that point or whatever number she's on.